Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Hope everyone's doing well today. Nice to be here at the end of the week again. Hey Mad Dog, nice to see you. So yeah, here again on both Twitch and YouTube. I've got a bunch of people on both platforms already. Chemical Serenity, hello there. Barkfield, nice to see you again. Okash, hi. Trey, Sergeant Stubby, thanks for joining in today. Nice to see you here again, David. Thank you. And hi, Dante. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, where are we? We're out here, about to enter hyperspace. We're not too far from the Omega Nebula. We're going to explore the area of space around the distant worlds to Waypoint 2. So Waypoint 3 is going to be revealed this Sunday, so it's now before departure, so at 7 PM UTC we should be hearing where we're going to be heading towards on the next location, and hopefully we get another nice itinerary like we got last time. It was pretty neat having all that information there, all those nice locations and that nice map. Hi from your living room, Commander Zorak. Hello there. I wonder where that living room is situated. Not that we need to know. It's just that everyone's saying hi from US, hi from Australia. I say hi from England here. Brian Lucas. Well, thank you very much. Cheers. Very kind of you. So we're getting into some early jumps here. We're going to make a few jumps. We're near the PW 2010 supercluster or thereabouts. In fact, we might be able to go to the Moth Nebula on the way through. Should we have a look? Should we have a look at the Moth Nebula? Let's have a check of that. Unless we're there already. I don't think we're... Oh yeah, no, we're already here in the Moth Nebula. Lots of things. So let's keep going to the PW 2010 supercluster. A few jumps. Right, shouldn't take us too long. So did they fix that that glitch, the asteroid belt glitch? I don't think they have, unfortunately. So what is this glitch? Well, there's a glitch from the recent update that came out on Thursday, whereby when you jump into a system and your scanners start scanning, your Discovery scanners start scanning, you basically get stuck in an endless loop, or you got the potential to get stuck in an endless loop on the info panel, where the voice of the ship can keep saying system scan complete. Let's have a look. Actually, I've been using the Discovery scanner and not been in Discovery mode. Let's see if it happens here. Frontier have said they're aware of the issue, but they haven't said if or when they're fixing it. I'm sure they will, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon. So David points out the DSS is still totally insane. Bit of a shame. Augustus, yes, I do fly with a joystick. I've got a Hotus Warthog. I use a broom. That's my wife who uses the broom. A witch. No, I don't mean it. Don't tell her I said that and I'll be in trouble. What I really should have said is that's my mother-in-law. You'd get away with that one a bit easier. So Zandroid says the exploration bug was server side. Now it's been fixed. Well, I haven't seen the bug here, so quite possibly. Carly, the crate is very good. Definitely worth it. Sometimes she does Matrix, so I could be in trouble, yeah. So yeah, we've got a few jumps here to do, but no problems. We'll stop along the way if we see anything that's potentially interesting, but I'm only going to stop if we see a lot of bodies. This is still a pretty extensively explored area of the galaxy, but we can go out and move around a bit and probably find a lot of undiscovered things as well. PM Collector Boy, I think it's fantastic that Stellaris is coming to consoles. Stellaris is an absolutely awesome game, and unfortunately it's one I don't get to play anywhere near as much as I would like to, but it's easily in my top 10 games of all time, so more platforms it's on, the better. So that's Stellaris. Very nice game. Drunk Scout, hey there.
System scan complete.
I've got to be careful here. Overheating is still a very real thing. The ship doesn't run quite as cool as I would ultimately like, and that's because I didn't spend a huge amount of time engineering. But it does the job. Hey there, Aquatic Borealis. Nice to see you. System scan complete. So it sounds like the bug might well be fixed, doesn't it? Unless I'm seeing it wrong. Because this is where we used to get stuck in a loop there. System scan. Well, there's no asteroid belts to scan. So maybe that's not a problem there. Commander Star Striker. Nice to see you here again. Yeah, I'm doing well, Jordan. I hope you're doing okay. Ah, Jodder, so it was a server-side fix that's been done today. That's really nice, because that's really a bug we don't want in the game for too long. Luckily, it's pretty easy to fix. So, you know, Daniel, I see a lot of people asking if they'll ever bring VR to the PlayStation edition of Elite. And you know what? I don't think they're going to. I would have thought that if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. Personally, I suspect it's purely down to performance issues. So Savage, I did have a link to my Phantom build here, but unfortunately it's not on Coriolis anymore, and I don't know where my link went, so I'm going to need to rebuild it over there, and then I'll sort of link out, then I can post for everyone. But unfortunately I haven't got it at the moment. So Eric, where are we going today? We're going to the PW 2010 supercluster, which is very close to the Omega Nebula. We haven't explored that part just yet, and then what we'll do is we'll just have a look around the Omega Nebula and the surrounding area itself, because we're going to be leaving this area soon. The Omega Nebula is, or the Omega Nebula, I'm always told I say this wrong, it sounds like Omega, I guess. But then there's another way of saying it, which is Omega, which is not how I say it. But the Omega Nebula, anyway, is at waypoint 2 for distant worlds. So we'll be moving on from here very, very soon, on Sunday in fact. So I thought we'd take the opportunity to just have a bit of exploring around this location before we start moving on. Iran, yes, the Crate Mark II is good. You can probably even get away with the Crate Phantom, to be honest. Is okay for deep core mining for sure. Although personally I tend to do it mostly in a Phantom. Not a Phantom, but a Python. Very different ship. Yeah, sure, Jordan. I'd love to hear your ideas for quality of life updates. Right, we not? Oh no, we've still got a few to go. A few more jumps. This is how it goes. So I have been out to the Omega Nebula already. For those of you that may not be aware, I got out there last week, but we did some community gold stuff there because the community gold was placed in Omega Mining Orbital, the station there, so that we could get ready for constructing the station near Sagittarius A, which I think is happening around about waypoint 7 or at that sort of time. Or at least there's a second community gold around about waypoint 7 if I've understood that correctly. So yeah, been out to the Omega Nebula, but after doing a bit of the community goal, we turned around and backtracked towards the Lagoon Nebula and Thor's Eye, which I missed on the way out here as I was rushing ahead a little bit to try and get towards the community goal. I didn't want to miss out on the early stages of that. Sparrow Black, hello there. Hello Back Rabbit. Monter Spartan, hello to you too. Oh, Sergeant Stubby, it looks like you managed to find my Crate Phantom build. Thank you very much for that, that's handy. Yeah, auto refueling at a station seems like a decent idea, to be perfectly honest, Jordan. I mean, back in the early days of Elite, fuel was far more expensive, so it made sense to be charged for fuel because when you ran down, it would actually cost a fair chunk of your earnings to actually refuel, and that was because the earning capability of a new player was very low, and fuel was pretty expensive by comparison, and they patched that out at some point, fairly early on. But they still left in the option to keep clicking on the button to refuel, which kind of seems redundant in a lot of ways because the price is so minimal, then it seems almost redundant. So yeah, auto refueling when docking seems pretty worthwhile. Might as well. What was the other option you said there? Fines to be taken out of current bounties you're waiting to claim. If they're from the same faction. Another interesting one there. So you can see some of the nebula off there in the distance, and one thing that starts getting interesting, even just we jumps into this hyperspace there, is when you're just a few distances out of a few thousand light years rather outside of the galactic core, is that you can start seeing a whole bunch of nebula rather than pretty much none as there are around the bubble. Chris Griffin, thank you very much. Thoughts on stations at Sagittarius A? I think it's a fantastic idea, Chris. Whether it be one station or multiple stations eventually, I don't really know. Personally, I'd like to see I'd like to see another inhabited area. We've got the main inhabited area of civilization around Earth, and all the tens of thousands, or multiple thousands rather, of systems that have arisen around Earth. We then got Colonia, which is 22,000 light years away from Earth, and that was just one station to start with. People probably remember, and it started building up. The more and more stations being constructed around there, and it became a fairly extensive second area of civilization. I don't know nowadays how many players actually play around there, but regardless, it feels that civilization is expanding, and I really like that idea. So stations near Sagittarius A, yeah, I think it's a great idea. It could just be a single station that just becomes a remote outpost, but personally I'd love it to become another inhabited area with other stations being constructed there at a later date. Howls, I'm doing good, thank you. Great to see you here. Oh, Chris, definitely. It did take a good chunk of time to get to Colonia in the first days. That would have been without engineering, I think, wouldn't it? I'm remembering right, engineering probably coming around about the same time as Jacques Station was discovered out near Colonia, so most ships would have been fairly low jump range. Well, we got 2 stars here. Let's have a look. Oh, I thought I saw a yellow star rather than a red one. Nope. Yeah, I do like this area. As you get more towards the galactic core, you start seeing a good chunk of nebula. So there's a supercluster up ahead of us. That densely packed area of stars, which is where we're heading towards at the moment. Probably missed that one, Jordan. Sorry. How common are binary planets that are both Earth-like? I think that's very uncommon over man. I've never actually discovered any that are never been discovered before. I've never made a discovery like that myself. I've seen a few of them, but they've been other people's discoveries, so I think they're pretty rare. Yeah, so let's see, we're heading towards the PW 2010 supercluster. Some of these stars are really big because they take a while to get away from when fuel scooping. James, do I think stations beyond Sagittarius A will be soon? So I don't think they'll be soon, but I do think they will happen eventually. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. One, because but humanity loves to expand, and Frontier and the Elite tend to follow that. Civilization just keeps expanding across the galaxy, which is something I really do like. But also, there's a bunch of permit-locked systems and permit-locked regions on the other side of the galaxy. In fact, let's have a quick look there before we get anywhere else. We often get this question on stream about the size of the galaxy and getting to the other side of it, and there's a number of reasons why I think eventually we'll get inhabited areas, so, you know, with human stations over this area. Either that, or we'll get ways to fast travel or quickly jump. And see if I can find it. It's been a long while since I've looked at these. There's over this way somewhere, there's some permit locked regions of space. Might not be able to find them straight off the drop of the hat like this. Let's have a look on Google, because that will tell me. There's about half a dozen of them or more over this side, and they're pretty big. Just want to have a look and give some clues as to the size of these things. So we got, yeah, I was miles away. Okay, there's one right over here then. So this region is locked, permit locked, requires unknown permit. And if you look at the size of this, there's quite a lot of systems here for some reason. And no one knows why. Frontier have said these areas are reserved for future gameplay or future updates. Let's have another look here. Let's have another look at another one. So, good distance away from Earth. Not on the other side, but there are plenty up there as well. It looks like just one system there. I'm in trouble finding all the other ones. I'll have another look in a minute. Maybe someone can remind me where those locations are. But basically, the point I'm trying to make there is I do believe that eventually we'll have stations and inhabited areas across the other side of the galaxy, simply because there's so many permit-locked regions everywhere, and there's going to be a reason for why they're permit-locked. Although they've, you know, in all the time the game's been released, no permit-locked areas have been unlocked in 4 years. So I guess there's always a chance that maybe these places will never actually be unlocked. Sergeant Stubby, thanks. There's 3 or so on a direct route, so 3 permit locked regions en route between Sagittarius A and Beagle Point. Yeah. So Jodders, yes, exactly. The reasons to go to permit locked regions like this, and keep in mind these permit locked regions are not just half a dozen systems or anything like that. Some of them are larger than the inhabited area around Sol. There's more permit locked regions or permit locked systems than there are inhabited systems around Earth. So there would have to be some very, very compelling reasons to travel out that way. Either that, or they'd have to make it easy to get there. Ah, clickable ship loadouts, Jordan. Yes, very nice idea. So basically you're in outfitting and you can save your loadouts and then quickly click a shortcut so your ship automatically gets outfitted to your previous setting. That would be very nice as well. So Overman, the Overman, rather, sorry there. This is a Crate Phantom, not a Crate Mark II, and the jump range is 60 light years. So Deca Solo, no one knows why they're permit locked. The last thing we heard was from Frontier quite a few years ago, saying that those regions are permit locked for future updates. That's literally all we know. But we're very close here to this supercluster now. We've got a number of planets here. I'm going to have a quick look at some of these, in fact. Alright, nothing too major. See if they've actually been discovered by someone else. Chances are this is a well-travelled route, so chances are that someone may have discovered these. You never know. Hey there, Wobble. Thank you very much. Jordan, we do have a Discord channel. Sergeant Stubby just put the link right there in chat. Interestingly enough, we actually got a pretty large Discord channel, 4,100 members or thereabouts now, and we've recently become a Discord partner as well. So there is that. So anyone who does want to come along, have a look at the Discord link. You can see it in the channel description over on Twitch if you're over there as well, if you're interested in joining up. Alright, so not too much going on here, don't think, but we might as well discover the rest of them. Oh, there's a whole load of actually here. What's going on? Ah, that's what I was expecting. Some clusters, asteroid clusters. Right, that'd be pretty much it, except for 2 more dotted around here somewhere. Okay. But nothing valuable there, but I might as well have done it as we were here anyway. But I'm curious to see whether they're already been discovered. Yeah, they have. Been very surprised if they hadn't been. That looks like that might have been worth landing on. Some interesting visuals there. Aquatic Borealis. I have played Planet Coaster, but not for quite a while. I played it shortly after it was released and unfortunately didn't go back to it. I don't get the time to play as many games as I'd like to. Andy Russ, good night to you too, and thanks for stopping by. There we go. This is when you end up jumping between the 2 stars and finding yourself trapped. These locations always look pretty neat though, don't they? Shame there. Shame about the fisheye effect on the camera lens when you zoom out so much. Trying to get a wider field of view there, but Doesn't really give us the best appearance of everything. Neat location though. Exiler, hey there. Nice to see you again. Alien, yeah, it may well include Frontier themselves, but you know, who knows? Only making assumptions at that point, I guess. Oh, I didn't realise Astroneer was coming out on the PlayStation 4. DJ Worderman, yes, I do use a gamepad for the system scan tool. I also find the joystick cumbersome on the FSS. I find it pretty useless with the FSS actually, so I use default key bindings for the gamepad. So Matrix, there'll definitely be planets and stars within those permit-locked regions. It's just that they're reserved for future content, which could mean alien species, alien space station, who knows? Exiler, I don't know what day it is today. Do tell. Jodder, relative to the size of that massive ball of gas, that ship must be huge. No, not true. Let's have a look. Exiler, oh, thank you very, very much. That's extremely kind of you. Thank you. It's payday. Oh, wow, thank you. Appreciate that. Right, so the point there about this ship being extremely large, as Jodder says here, compared to the size of the star, which, you know, is a fair point. It does look like the star is relatively small or relatively large. Either way, the ship's large compared to the sun. You know, whatever way you look at it, it does kind of appear that way. And it's hard to argue with that point. But the crate is very, very large here. It's Mad Dog points out the size of a 727, so it's certainly not small by any means. Wanda Craxverse, you're very welcome. So, well, we're in trouble here. This is what happens when you get cocky and start getting into camera shots while you're too close to the star. But the point I was trying to make is that star is 15 light seconds away. Yeah, so we're not close to it by any means. And just for reference there's 186,000 miles in a light second. So that star, when we were close to the star right there, that was close to 2 million miles away. Yep, exactly, Jodder, the star is far away. How far away was that sun? It was 2 million miles or thereabouts when we were up close getting burnt. And Trey, yeah, you're spot on. Trey mentions how scale looks a lot better and much more accurate when playing in VR, and that's very, very true. Distance is an odd thing when in space. You haven't really got any points of references, so it's sometimes hard to judge scale and distance. But it does become easier when in VR. Ooh, that looks nice. I like the colours of that. It's not too far away. We're 30,000 light seconds. I don't know about going there, to be honest. It looks nice, but we might lose some of the colours by the time we get there. We'll have a look though, maybe. Just back up and we'll select that as a potential destination. There's an even more interesting looking world. So you can see that this here is a pretty small world. It's got a radius of 359 kilometres, which is why it's kind of out of shape. I'm definitely going to head over to these. It'll take us a little while to travel there, but I think it might be worth having a look. I think the small potato-shaped worlds are always worth having a look. Another one that's small, and that one's well out of shape, and we look like we've got some geological formations there as well. Definitely going to go there. Mad Dog, you can definitely post an image, a link. No problem there. I'm not entirely sure how I give you permission to do that, though. I'm still a bit of a noob when it comes to Twitch commands, unfortunately. Let me know what it says when you try and post a link there anyway. Wouldn't let you post a link there, Mad Dog? Let's try the command that was just suggested there. If not, I'll try and... Nope, that didn't work. Give me 2 seconds. We'll see if we can find out that Twitch command. Yes, perhaps not a big deal, Mad Dog, but I'd like to know how to do it. Then we know how to do it in future, don't I? It's come up a few times, and yeah, permit username should have worked. Oh, it requires the @. Thank you. There we go. See if that's worked. Robot, hello there. Might be Nightbot messing around. Shows I need a bit more configuring going over there on Twitch, unfortunately. I'll try and get that sorted out a bit later on then. Sorry about that. Osmodian, yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you're okay. But that's a good point, because ship scale is actually, excuse me, really relevant when it comes to Elite Dangerous. I don't think it comes across just how large ships actually are within Elite Dangerous. Oh, DJ, thank you very, very much for that. That's very generous of you. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks for that. So whilst we're travelling there, let's go and have a look at the ship scale, because whilst we can't see Mad Dog's link, what we can do is have a look on ship scale on stream. There we go. Well, that gives an idea of some of the sizes of ships, particularly the Sidewinder here, which we all know is a starter ship, and many people just consider it to be extremely small. But when you look at the size of it, it tends to work quite well. Ah, you got the same link anyway, Mad Dog. So yeah, That gives this sense of scale pretty well there, especially the size of the Cobra, which is immense, and the Anaconda is more or less the size of the stadium. So we can then go from that and have a look at some of the other ship sizes here. That gives us a bit more of an idea of ships relevant to each other or related to each other. And this is where it starts making things like the Sidewinder look pretty small, but as we saw just now, these things are pretty large. And there are ones out here that show the scale of mega ships as well. This, of course, are capital ships. We've got the Federation capital ship and the Imperial capital ship. And here's another nice one as well. So there's the capital ships, and here's a station. And I do believe these are something like 20 kilometers long, so they're pretty massive. And mega ships are very similar in size, I believe, to stations. Okay, thanks Sergeant Stubby, thanks for your help here. I'll catch you soon, okay? Take care. So let's see, I haven't discovered a method of finding biological things down on planets, unfortunately. I wish there was an easy method. Some people say if there's a water world or an Earth-like in the system, then there's more chances of, or more likelihood of there being biological things within the same system. Also, some people suggest that if you scan a planet that's in the Goldilocks zone of a system, there's also more likelihood it may have biological life down on the planet. But I haven't verified that, so I haven't seen any verification for that either. Someone may have done well to verify that, but personally I haven't. But you know, it would kind of make sense that planets near the Goldilocks zone would be more likely to have life. Right, we're coming up on a pretty nice area here. Now, unfortunately, as I suspected, this looked really vivid blue when we were looking through the FSS, and this is something that seems to be, I would call unintended behaviour, really, the way the FSS works. It may well be a design limitation, but you always get the coloration from the local star, regardless of how far away that star is when using the FSS. But when you get up to that star, or up to that planet, you lose that colour. Oh wow, Dave, thank you very, very much for that. Thank you. Very much appreciated. So, Aquatic Borealis, you found biological sites several times in blue-white star systems just outside Nebula. Nebula seemed to be a strong reason for finding life. In fact, like the Lagrange clouds, there's often life in those sorts of places. So I don't know really what it is scientifically that makes Nebula more likely in elite to give form to alien life. But I believe it's the same for the barnacles as well. They were more often found within that Nebula, weren't they? Right, the planet we were heading towards is... Wow, look at that star. We're so far away, and that star is... Unless there's another one. Can it really be that massive, that star? Ah, no, we've got a larger one here. It may well be there's some biological life here as well, but we haven't completed the scan, so we don't know for sure. Yeah, Aquatic Borealis. Ammonia worlds also seem to have an influence. I know Frontier have done a lot of scientific analysis on that, seeing if that life could actually work with an ammonia-based compound rather than water-based, and they seem to think it's quite possible. I don't know if there's other research out there that you can find on ammonia-based life. So yeah, we're heading over to this planet here because it's got some geological stuff down on the planet. Jordan, I don't have a cutter combat build made up, unfortunately, no. Yep, Trey, I'd be very surprised if the beast, the A-star doesn't have more mass. I'd be very surprised. In fact, it's likely there's something wrong if A doesn't have more mass, I guess. So yes, good observation for bringing that up. Right. Looks like a pretty neat little area, doesn't it? Let's do a surface scan here. We'd probably get away with doing this with one probe, I bet. 2 probes. Just to prove me wrong. Surprising.
Surface scan complete.
Oh, there is some biological life down here. Even better. So yes, someone there in chat suggested it's quite possible that white blue stars seem to have an influence over life on planets. I wonder. Still quite a lot of light out here. And crisscrossing of the crater impacts here on this world as well. Right, so we're over on a dark side of the planet here, or the moon rather. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but we want to see what the biological signal is down on the world here. So Star Striker, I use a HOTAS to control the camera, same as I use to control the ship. It's a Warthog. But we're not going to see too much here in the way of terms of colour, I guess, but it's not entirely a bad thing. Robot, a planet with a giant space worm in. That'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? There's actually a nice piece of fan-based concept art with something similar to that on a bit like a massive Leviathan up in space on a gas giant, actually, in the atmosphere of a gas giant. Very nice image. Oh, we dropped out a little bit too far back here. Not to worry. I bet it's space pumpkins. What do you think? Looking like space pumpkins already. If so, it's actually pretty neat we're on the dark side of the planet because these things glow. Let's see if they're going to glow. Is it space pumpkins? It is, but they're not of the glowing type by the looks of it. We've not got the composition scanner in a fire group. Why not? Why have I not got that in a fire group? Oh, they are glowing. It's just the ship lights are a bit too bright. Turn them off. That's a bit of a spooky looking field, isn't it? Oh, we're going to get sunrise as well in a bit. Or is it sunset? I wonder. From what I've seen, sometimes these glow different colours. You can get sort of like purpling glowing ones. It'd actually be worthwhile staying here until the sun actually come up, but we're not going to do that on stream. Let's have a look at one of the other planets. Might actually be worth having a look at a geological surface feature here as well, I think. Let's go and do that. I do like these small worlds. Always can be very interesting to take a look at. Just the geology here is pretty interesting for a number of different reasons. I don't think we've got a steep enough bit here for glide. Unfortunately not. How far down is it? Oh wow, it's right around the other side of the planet. Back into Super Cruise we go then. Jordan, I also wonder when the 2019 roadmap is going to be released. We're getting towards the end of January, so personally I think if we don't hear anything in January, we're not going to hear anything for a long while. Actually, isn't today the 25th anniversary for Frontier? I think it is, isn't it? So I was kind of hoping we'd hear something today. Let's have a look. There's no news, I don't think. No, nothing new. David, I am near the Omega Nebula. We're not actually there right yet, but we'll be heading that way in just a bit. If there's some tours out that way, I definitely would like to see them, so I'll check that out. Is that in the announcement page, or is that in another location there on the FleetCom Discord, David? Where could I find the information for that? Well, we come out quite a way there, didn't we? Let's head back and see what the surface features look like. Okay, thanks, David. Kind of odd here because well, it makes sense, but the overlay hologram is perfectly spherical, whilst the world itself isn't.
Orbital flight engaged.
Lassie, there's a 75% sale on the front. Is that on the Frontier store? I didn't realise there was a sale there. I'll have a check in a minute. People were actually asking the other day about buying a second account, and they were hoping there was a sale on. There wasn't at the time. They just missed the Humble Bundle sale. But if there's a sale on the Frontier store right now, let's have a look. Yeah, there is indeed. 76% off Elite Dangerous. So £4.80 for the vanilla version of Elite, and £4.80 for the season pass, or £9.60 for the whole game. That's pretty neat. So a good opportunity for people to get a second account if they're interested, which is worthwhile. Personally, I think, whilst Distant Worlds is going on, if you're on Distant Worlds, because it means you can be out in Distant Worlds as well as back in the bubble as well. Here we go. Oh, it looks like it might have gone back on sale on Humble Bundle then, because I'm pretty sure that sale ended. Geronimo? Whoa, watch out, watch the ground. Oh dear. Have I run into the bug where you keep discovering the same thing repeatedly? So that's actually been fixed already? Fairman? Very rough ground around here, so we're not going to be at landing. Not right near here anyway. There's a spot over in the distance actually. You can see though. We're going to land over there. I think it might be worthwhile. So Decker, you do need a different email per account, but there is a trick you can use. If, for argument's sake, if you're on, oh look at that, it's a nice horizon. For argument's sake, if you're on Gmail, you can, and your name there is Decker Solo. So say your email is deckersolo@gmail.com. You can actually sign up to Frontier with Decker Solo plus, use the plus sign, and then 2@gmail.com. and deckersolo +3@gmail.com. If you sign up to services with an email address in that form, they will all come through to the main email account. So whilst you do need a different email address, you won't need to create a separate email account, if that makes sense. But whatever you do, don't log into the Frontier store and buy another copy of the game under your same email address, otherwise it won't work. That's quite a nice view, isn't it?
Drive assist on. Low gravity warning.
At Fearman, yes, people run into the bug this morning as well, but it has been fixed since then apparently. It was a client-side fix. It was still not working early this morning, but it's been fixed since then. So yeah, nice view, just unfortunately I think a little bit too much on the bright side in a way. Hey there, Chris. Yeah, you can buy gift copies on the Frontier Store tray. That's same with paint packs as well, I think. Very true. You could buy yourself a gift, send it to your other email address. Exiler, am I going to play Anthem this weekend? You know what? I don't know. I'll have a look at it, I guess. I haven't been paying too much attention to that game, actually, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if it'd be enough to draw me away from Warframe. Every chance I get to play a game other than Elite, I like to play Warframe. So I don't know if Anthem would be enough to get me away from that. But seeing as there's a demo out, it might be worthwhile to have a look. Hey Zane Cutter. Yes, I'm good. Nice to see you here, thank you. Hello to you as well. I hope you're okay. I'm going to try and get a bit up here into... there we go. We get a better view of that horizon there. No, I'm driving the SRV with a HOTAS, not a joypad. In fact, we might be better off going down into the valley here. Yeah, neat little location. I wasn't expecting it to be anything special here, but... Let's see if we can get the SRV in the shot. Looks alright, doesn't it? Not a bad location. Yeah, work can be a bit of a pest, eh, Zane? Thank you, Mad Dog. I do try and aim for that. Don't always achieve it, though. It's a shame the gas giant's slightly out of shot. I'd like to have got it entirely in. No, when it's entirely in, it doesn't look quite so interesting as when it's only half in. So, there is that. I don't have a online portfolio of shots. I do have a big folder of screenshots here though, but I probably should share them online. Mad Dog, that's a pretty nice idea. Thank you, Commander Nexus. Let's see if we can get a decent shot with one of these geological features in as well. Thank you, German. Yep, Finlad, you need to buy the Horizons DLC so you can land on planets. It's not all planets, keep in mind, it's only planets without an atmosphere. But as pointed out, Horizons is £4.80 on the Frontier Store right now. So, pretty good time to get into the DLC if you haven't already. David, thank you very much. I'll check that out. Perhaps we'll head that way today. Mad Dog, to be perfectly fair, most of my shots are actually pretty loungy as well. For every huge bunch of rubbish shots, you get one good one. But, you know, that's the life of a photographer, I guess, in real life as well as in space. Robot, I'll think about sharing the screenshots over on Discord. I think it would make sense. I'll stick an album together on somewhere, maybe Imager or something like that, and then we can share them on Discord. Alright, and I think we're getting a little bit out of shot of the... Oh no, no. Possibly we'll be able to see them as well. There's a nice little pass, little cut through in the valley. Do I drive like this normally? Pretty much, Decker. I'm not a good SRV driver. I'm a little bit worse here because I'm paying attention to the chat more than the game, but I'm not very good when it comes to driving the SRV. The easiest thing to do is just jump down there, to be honest. Bang. Let's get up the right way. Now the question is whether or not we can see the other planets through that little pass up here. Probably not, now I'm all the way down here. Well, we can see the local star though. Let's have a look then. Yeah, we're too low down to see anything here. I had a feeling we would be a bit too low. These are interesting looking fumaroles though. Aren't they? Oh no, we can see them. Let's head in that direction then. Wow, this ground is super rough. Personally feel the Mako from Mass Effect drove better. Can't argue with you, I can't argue with you there. As crazy as that vehicle actually was. Signal lost. We're probably clipped into the terrain or something, are we? Yeah, we're clipped into that hill there. Unfortunately, it makes it difficult to get any interesting perspective here. Yeah, not perfect, but not bad. Not going to grumble at that one. SR is fun in VR. It's really not. It's really, that's the one thing that seriously gives me motion sickness in Elite. Pretty much anything else in Elite I'm fine for when it comes to VR, but the VR gives me a good chunk of motion sickness. Said it before on stream, if you find areas like this, they're a good opportunity to take time lapse. Right, now we've got to actually try and get out of this location. See where those fragments are. We might be able to take a few while we're down here. Oh, they're optional 0. Yep, they're doing good. We're getting stuck down in the canyons here by the looks of it, though. I don't think we're gonna have to get those crystalline fragments for easy. Nope. There's one. Okay. A bit of zinc. I'm going to get a bit of materials while we're out here anyway, because I haven't got much materials. Yeah, Andreas, even if I do that, I still get a lot of motion sickness. The trouble for me is anything that's positioned low to the ground in VR tends to give me motion sickness. So it kind of limits me for a lot of games, unfortunately. Where did that chunk go? Down here? Yeah, Exilo, I do try, actually not vertigo medicine, but travel sickness pills, which have the same sort of effect. They do help with it afterwards, but not at the time. So it's just easier to avoid it. And plus I don't record my footage in VR anyway, so I don't get the opportunity to play in VR a whole lot, so... Do I think bounty hunting and combat will see some love anytime soon? Like they have for exploration and mining? Yeah, I've missed that previously if you've asked it, Jordan. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I think combat's in a pretty good place in Elite. Although that said, that comes from a player who doesn't do a lot of combat. I think the only thing that really needs improving is the payouts. I know they've increased the payouts on some of the combat missions, but bounty hunting payouts are still pretty low. We're not getting out of the canyon here, are we? What sort of improvements would you like to see to combat then? Zane Carter, I'd like to see one stream in VR just for the fun of it. Well, I don't know how much fun that would be for me, to be honest. I don't know how Manic VR does it. He can spend hours in the Rift and he's totally good with it. For me, it's not like that at all. It would be if I'm flying. If I'm doing nothing but flying in straight lines in space, that's fine. But the moment I get into the SRV, then... yeah, wow. Yes, I do wear glasses, Bakefield, and I wear them in VR as well. We're trashing the SRV up pretty badly here, aren't we? I just want to get out that initial canyon. We're up to another one. Hey Fester, how's the journey into the Black going? Well, at the moment it's the journey up the big hills. If we can actually achieve them, if we can actually do it. I think all we have to do is get down there and we're good. A GTX 970 should be pretty good for VR, I think. Yep, Mad Dog, I'm agreeing with that. There's definitely room for larger ships in Elite. I think really now's the time to go up to larger sized ships than the Anaconda, to be honest. I'd love to see ships that are too large to dock. Hey, Commander Face Sky. Hey there. Right, we're back. Now, where did I park the ship? Over the hill. Oh, just down there. I was going to dismiss the ship and recall it, but it looks like it's pretty close, so... Good. Andreas, yeah, that is worth keeping in mind. Yeah, I don't know if Vesta so much capital ship size. I just mean maybe half again the size of an Anaconda. Or maybe twice. Panther Clipper size. At least original Panther Clipper size. We looked on stream the other day at the Panther Clipper that was in Elite 2, and that had a cargo capacity of 2,100 tons. So more than twice what's in the game at the moment of any ship. I'd certainly like to see a ship that size, but I think it would be too large to dock. But I think that could be part of the appeal. It's Sumo. Well, thank you for coming along. Cheers. Yeah, David, I think that's probably one of the reasons there hasn't been anything like that. There was talk a little while ago, a couple of years ago, David Braber mentioned putting larger ships in the game. And the ability to perhaps have shuttles so that players could move between the ship and the station. But you're right, you'd also need a different way to outfit them, which maybe like those dry docks you see, that capital ships are docked at. They'd work. Ransom Rogers, hello there. Alright, we're back. That was a bit of a detour, wasn't it? Alright, let's see what else is around the area here, shall we? So yeah, we've got a lot of these blue-white stars around. We'll just jump into select run at random, we'll have a look there, and then we'll move back towards the Omega Nebula. And David posted a link in chat earlier today, so or early on in stream, we'll have a look at that location. So the, what's this? The website here, not website, but forum post. Each week we will propose you one or more exploration circuits, reading off from a forum post here. Each one will propose a thematical tour near the current waypoint using submissions made by the Distant Worlds 2 participants with a submission form. Depending on how fast commanders would do the submissions early in the week, we hope to be able to release exploration circuits by the Wednesday and Friday. Nice. So the first circuit name is Colours of Clouds. Visit a sample of the Grange clouds with a variety of colours. I see. Links to a PDF. Josh, where do you think Distant Worlds 2 will take us next? I don't know. Looking forward to finding out though. Let's have a look what we got here then. Right, there's a bunch of Lagrange clouds right nearby the Omega Nebula. So we're going to have a look in this next system and then start heading out that way. Looks like that'd be pretty interesting. So Chris, they're releasing the next waypoint on Sunday. Around about 7 UTC, 7 PM UTC, I believe. "28 bodies. I don't think we're going to stop and look at these now. Some of them look like they might be worth checking out, but let's go and have a look at some Lagrange clouds, because there's going to be a few jumps before we get to those. Unless I'm closer than I thought. Oh no, we're much closer than I thought. That's cool. Thought it was going to be another 10 or 15 jumps. Looks like about 3. Yep. Hey there, Don. And hey, Death Packs. I'm going to put the this link in chat in case people want to see it. Put it in both Twitch chat and YouTube chat. This is basically a little tour around the Omega Nebula for people who want to take a look at that. And it goes to, this first one goes to Lagrange clouds. It should be pretty neat to check out. And you can see the Omega Nebula, I think. Is that nearby? Or is that another nebula? Must be the Omega Nebula, surely. I think I've closed the PDF again. I downloaded it and closed it. Cornelius, now heading to the bubble to finally buy the Asp Explorer. Nice. What's the name of the ship? So EMC, the name of the ship is the Crate Phantom. It's easily become my favourite exploration ship in the game. Ah, Callum, it's nice to know FleetCom is open. Now, is that the private group or is that the Discord? Okay, great. Nice to know they're both open. So both the FleetCom and private group, both the FleetCom Discord and private group are now open. So nice. Right. So theoretically, this should be the right system. There should be a, here we go, notable stellar phenomena. Which is, oh, we're pointing in the right direction. There we go. Knuckles the Third, what has the Phantom got over the Explorer? I assume you mean what has the Crate Phantom got over the Asp Explorer? So the Crate Phantom has got a better jump range? Yeah, my Crate Phantom does 60 light years, but you can actually get it quite a good chunk over there if you're willing to compromise on modules. And it's also got a lot more optional module slots than the Asp Explorer. So just generally it's an all-round better ship than the Asp Explorer. Oh, Andreas, so the Discord is still closed. So getting mixed messages here. Some people saying FleetCom Discord might still be closed. Sheer, no news about what's next for Elite. There's some speculation. We do know that there's an expansion in the work and that it's going to be a paid expansion, but that's literally all we know. Unspent Youth. I do like Elite in VR. Very much so. Right, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of clouds we got here. And whether or not there's any life inside them, because sometimes there is. We've got a bit of a tour here anyway, so we will do the tour. We might as well. We dropped out too early. Don't know what happened there. Jumped out way too early. Didn't it just say disengage? Or did I shoot past it? I was kind of looking at chat a little bit, so I'm not sure what I did wrong there. Sheer, new music to Elite would be pretty nice. Although Elite has fantastic music. Talking of music. Yes. Let's play some. I think. Yeah, that was weird. I thought it did say safe disengage, and ended up a bunch of light seconds away from it. How odd. So let me know if the music's a bit loud there, because we can soon turn it down. And yes, you're right, Art, there is a huge difference in price between the Asp Explorer and the Crate Phantom, so yeah. Cornelius, I don't use the Neutron Highway very often. Nope. Thank you, Chemical. I do like driving through, flying rather, through these clouds. If that's too loud, we'll turn that down a little bit. A bit better? Hopefully that's a bit better. I mean, one thing that's really happened with Chapter 4 in terms of lighting is that as you fly around from place to place, you get such different lighting compared to what you used to. It used to be, lighting used to be almost consistent wherever you went, relatively speaking. But nowadays it's quite a lot different to that. Very dark here. Right, so have we got any living structures down here? Oh, okay, robot, let's put it back up again then. A bunch of other people saying it's okay. There we go. Yeah, Jordan, I'd be very surprised if the next update's not big, especially considering they've confirmed that it's a paid update. It'd be crazy if it's not something big. This is very dark in here. I'm not... Oh, well, I was just about to say I'm not turning night vision on, but now I am because it's just got crazy dark. Yeah, we're just about to crash into something. Look at that. That's intensely dark out here. Just how space should be. You can't see anything. A little bit of colour behind us. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of red. Yeah, good point. Scanning the objects here. We should be doing that. Go right past them without scanning them. These will get some confirmations for us in the codex. A little bit of cash. And the ship lights on. No problem. There we go. Unfortunately, in space, ship lights don't really go a lot of distance. There we go. There's something up here. We need to scan those spikes as well. Was this one I've... Okay, alright, fair enough. That's the one I just scanned. So it doesn't look like there's anything living around here. Let's go have a look at those spikes. And then maybe we will move on to the next one. How do the lights look outside? Let's have a look. Can't see much, can you, at all? One thing that does look pretty neat are the engine trails. They look pretty good in the black. Scan all the things. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna scan this spiky thing here. So dark here. Right, so it seems there's no other life here, so we're gonna move onwards. See if we can get up this dark section, actually. We're out. Also deploy my landing gear unintentionally. What a dark patch. Alright, there's another notable stellar phenomenon not too far away, I think. Let's see if we can get to that one. Not actually showing up. Let's get back into Super Cruise. Maybe it will show up there. I don't think the chaff does anything to them, Exiler. We need to find living objects so that we can see them reacting. Cobzolard, hello there. Josh Peel. It depends. If you're down on planets, then zoom is far more limited in the external camera. If you're up in space, then you can zoom a fair bit more out. And thank you, DJ. That would be a pretty neat way of ending the video there, you're right. Maybe we'll use that when it comes to it. So I thought there was 2 stellar phenomena here, but not to worry. Let's go to the next section here, if it's not too far away. Right over the other side. Only a couple of jumps though, so that's good. Corpsalard. So the exploration is going pretty good. We're actually on one of the Distant World 2 tours at the moment. Someone's put up a tour guide. A trip created by Commanders Alistair Hope and Sanderson. So we're actually following their tour guide at the moment, which is a look at a bunch of the Lagrange clouds around the Omega Nebula. So David, the 4D thrusters. I landed on a 3.3G world at the view without any problems. So I don't know how they'll be for worlds higher than 3.3, but there wasn't any problems there at all. Corpsalot, the next waypoint for Distant Worlds will be announced on Sunday at 7 PM UTC. I think we'll be departing on Sunday as well towards waypoint 3. So typically they announce the next waypoint an hour before departure. Okay, Howls, I'll catch you soon. Thanks for stopping by again. Yeah, Chris, you can post a link there. I think hopefully if there's a mod about, yep, one of the mods there, maybe Trey will check the link and allow it through. If that's okay, Trey. Thank you. Obsidian, would I rather fight a 1-horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Ooh, I think a horse-sized duck would be pretty freaky, wouldn't it? 100 little mini horses I think would be pretty cute, to be honest. I'd run from the duck, definitely. The larger duck. We're in the system? Yep. Okay, Lassie, thank you. I'll see you soon, okay? No, you found your first bunch of spiky things, Lady Caruso. Neat. Jordan, I do indeed. Bunch of stars here. Always look neat when you're flying by them. You know, it wasn't too long ago, really, in terms of Elite, where you had to actually use a parallax like this to make discoveries. Because the Advanced Discovery Scanner was pretty much out of range for people. And so, you know, because money was so hard to come by, so we were limited to the basic Discovery Scanner. So what we'd do was fly around in space, get up to speed, and look for little small dots moving in parallax against the background. And when you saw that, you knew where the other planets were. And in fact, if you wanted to head towards certain planets, you couldn't see them on the, well, you couldn't select them rather on the system map. So this was another way to orientate yourself in a star system. Fly above the star system's plane, and then look for the stars in or the planets rather in parallax. I'm from UK, southern UK, Jordan. Joshua, thank you very, very much. And you're very welcome. I'm glad you like the content. Nice to see you've been enjoying Elite. Thank you for that. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. Phase Lord, they have fixed the asteroid plug, yep. What's the purple object next to the star? Let's have a look. That's a... let's have a look. Be a brown dwarf or red dwarf or something like that. Let's have a quick look. Then we'll head back towards... Yeah, there we go. A dwarf star. Although it don't look particularly red from this distance. Thank you, Seventh Circle. Right, let's see if this one jumps us back again, or whether it jumps us in. No, how odd. We got tricky, notable stellar phenomena that move. We was right on top of that there, and it jumped half a light second away. Crops a lot, space hazards. Well, there is lightning in some of these clouds, and that does do damage. Ignaco, thank you. So I don't fly the large ships. I haven't even bought a cutter recently. I've got a Anaconda and I've got a Federal Corvette, but I couldn't recommend a cutter because I don't fly the large ships, unfortunately. There we go. Weird that they keep jumping away from us. So no lightning here or anything like that. Biological and geological discoveries made. There may be some life here. I don't know if there is. Have a look at the little PDF on the tour guide. Of course we could use the codex. Give us a bit of indication. In fact, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Okay, so there's also some surface things we can have a look at. Oh, Kahan, thank you very much. Oh, Karahan, thank you very much for the system names there. Perhaps we can have a look at some of them as well in a bit. We've got a few more to go through here as well. So, Mako, this is a new ship if you haven't been playing for a while. This is a Crate Phantom. No, unfortunately we can't mine these, but we can scan them. But they don't give you millions, they just give you a very minor payout. So what are these things? So it says here these are flavour... Well, it went too quickly. Let's jump into the codex and we'll have a look. So one of these. Flavum metallic crystals confirmed. These crystalline structures are created by huge numbers of primordial microorganisms. Observations in systems with planet types terrestrial high metal content and terrestrial metal rich. Corpse a lot. I'll see you soon, okay? I'm curious if there's any lightning based ones out here. A swirling green cloud of gas fixed in place by a Lagrange point. Orange cloud. Swirling pink cloud, and the colours are wrong here because I've changed my UI, which one of the reasons I will probably switch back to orange. Right, so we've got no lightning going on here or anything. I don't know if any of you have seen these reported anomalies. That's far too far away, unfortunately. 3,700 light seconds, or light years rather. We're not going there. Hey there, Stella. I suspect these are equally far away. Yeah, even further. Oh, where were we? Yeah, too far away, unfortunately. We won't be going to see any of them today. Any mollusks nearby? Oh, we actually was near one of them earlier tonight. This one. Earlier today. Oh no, we weren't. It's in complete opposite direction. My mistake. Stella, so we're having a look at the Lagrange clouds. Having to find some life forms around here as well, in addition to these crystal things. We're not seeing any just yet. No, definitely no life here. Let's see if there's another stellar phenomenon in the system. If not, we'll move onwards. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Let's see how far that one is away. That doesn't look like any of them are too far away. They're all pretty close, which is nice. In fact, I think in the Omega Nebula, one of the systems right nearby, where the mining is going on, I think there's some life forms in some of the ring systems there. That might be worth having a look at as well. Hey there, Blackjack. Yes, evening would be the right thing there. And hey there. Noah, the faint radar echoes of mollusks. I don't think there was mollusks there. I know they do usually come up as faint radar echoes. I don't think there's any in this one, unless I missed it. Don't think so. Yep, Odmodin. It's great to see the mining was finished. Hit tier 11, which is nice. Yeah, I know they're small, Noah. We'll have a look in the next system, as we're on our way out now. Thank you for pointing it out there anyway. I did help with the Distant World 2 community goal. Tom, yep. Oh, it was only one jump here. That was a very quick trip, wasn't it? I thought there was a couple of jumps there. Oh, it's 6,000 light seconds away, so a bit more of a trek this time. Although we got that lovely lighting from the local sun. In fact, the reflections there on the ship makes me think of the view, the planet that we saw very early on as we left waypoint 1, where you were getting reflections of blue on one side of the ship and pink on the other, and I think that looked really, really nice. Yes, Stella, landing on the Guardian FSD sites really is a pain. Exactly, a bit of a nightmare. Keep going though, you can do it. I don't know what the max jump range Mach is of the Crate Phantom, but mine is 60 light years. I know people have got it significantly higher than that though. Andrew, so as far as I know, planets should have been the same on per platform. So if you've noticed a difference between a planet on the PC, so the world showed up as an ice world on PC, but as a gas world on PS4. That is odd. I wouldn't expect that at all. As far as I know, it shouldn't be that way. A good observation though. Wouldn't have realised that. Commander Stargazer, hello there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the gravity on the Guardian worlds is fairly low. Osmodin. Right, we get in there. Looks like it's actually quite close to a planet this time. Usually they're fairly close. Yep, Mac, this does have an SRV hangar. In fact, I've got 2 SRVs in here, so I could have gone for a smaller hangar and got a slightly better jump range. But because we're out for so long, I wanted to make sure we got a spare SRV just in case. Oh, President, thank you very much. Very kind of you to say. Glad you like the YouTube videos. This is going to be pretty interesting, so close to the gas giant. I kind of wish it was off axis to it, so that we could get a clear view of the rings as well from inside. I guess we'll have to see when we're in there. Or it may be slightly off axis. Or is it dead on? Normally they're dead centre, so you can't actually see the rings. Looks like it's going to be dead centre to it. So as we come round, it's sort of the very thin lip of the ring there, it kind of disappears into a thin line, and that's where you often find moons and Lagrange clouds and anything else interesting are located, which is unfortunate because it means you can't see the ring as a backdrop. Now, are we going to get 3 for 3? Is this Lagrange cloud also going to push us back half a light second? Happened twice now? Right, we're definitely at 4 megameters, 3 megameters, 2 megameters. I'm going to jump out and see where we end up. Where did it go? Half a light second away. So, every time so far. How odd. We sort of shot right through it. Not very accurate targeting computers there. Carabundum. So yeah, that's happening all the time to you. This didn't used to happen. This didn't used to happen at all, so it must be a relatively new thing. Ooh, Orion, a double neutron star nearby. Sounds like a neat thing to go check out. Let's see if it lets us in this time. Ah, there we go. Starwin, hello there. You're welcome, Mac. Right, let's see if we can find anything this time. It's a feature, not a bug, yeah. Makes us think about where we're travelling a little more, eh? Stargazer, you can stay out pretty much indefinitely, but the hull will become compromised so that small damage gets magnified by quite a lot. But people have stayed out for months and months and done hundreds of thousands of light years without worrying too much about it. As long as you're careful, it's not really too much of a problem. It becomes more of a problem if you find yourself in combat. Right, looks like we may have some mollusks right nearby. I hope. Oh, one very close. We're going to overshoot it a little bit. There we go. Gourd mollusk. Well, he don't like me getting close. That's a new effect. Wonder if we get any visual effect when that happens. Let's slow down a little bit. Yeah, lightning. Oh, sorry, Mr. Pod. I do believe that will drain your shield eventually. I wonder if it's bleeding through. We didn't get any hull damage. Come on, we want to scan you. So one thing that's pretty interesting about this sort of thing is that... Let's have a look. Back up. Right, we're getting an observed trait. The codex will give us a trait on that. Let's go and have a look at the codex very quickly. Confirmed, and that's the one we just looked at. Looks like it's doing something to us in the background again as well. Sorry for the flash in there. A gourd-shaped organism that feeds off starlight confirmed into chemical energy. It's not actually showing us any traits there. But is seriously doing a number on our shield. Do I like mollusks generally? I don't, Trey, but a bunch of people around here do. Right, it's yeah, definitely a defense mechanism. We're gonna test out the if it's powered up. No, we don't want the mining laser. We want the pulse laser. So we're going to see what happens when we shoot the poor little thing. Wherever it's gone. It's still nearby, is it? Otherwise we go find another one. It's vanished. There's plenty more around here. We stop harassing that one, we go find another one. So Calder, normally I wouldn't go shooting things randomly in space, but I want to highlight a new element of gameplay that Frontier have introduced here. Now, shooting it won't kill it. In fact, it likely won't hurt it. It doesn't do any observable harm to him. What it will do is update the codex with new information. It will tell us whether or not there's a reaction to this. If there is a reaction, we'll get a... Whoa. Looks like we can't actually target it, can we? Commander Stargazer, wow, thank you very, very much for that. Oh wow, that's very much appreciated. Very kind of you, thank you. I'm glad you like the work, glad you like the videos and the content. Cheers. Thank you. So what you can do is try and experiment with the creatures here. So basically we shoot it and we scan it again. And look, new trait found or discovered. Let's have a look. Just making it angry, Karahan. Yeah, could well be. Right. So confirmed here. We should have some more information now. Is attracted to a ship's shields and drains them when in proximity. Additional traits may exist. That's interesting. Attracted to the ship's shield. Right. So we're going to test something else here. Let's switch the shields off. Yeah, I think the mollusk might have ran. They keep coming towards me. Star Striker, yeah, he seems to like the ship. Let's see if we can find another one of those little guys. Let's see if they react any differently this time without the shields. Oh, there's one just below me. Is there? Or was that this? Oh no, it's near the little crystal. Let's see what happens this time. Yeah, look at that. Oh no. He might well be having a go at the ship here now. Although I didn't see any lightning this time. Let's try it a bit slower. Yeah, he's not casting any lightning this time. That's the ship's shields. So this is kind of part of the new gameplay for exploration nowadays. You've got a whole bunch of different things that you can experiment with. And look, I've got a gimbaled weapon here. I can't actually target it. The gimbal doesn't target it. You watch, it goes off axis. But it seems it doesn't do any harm anyway. Let's turn the mining laser on, and we'll turn the pulse laser off. We'll try that. You're going to react to this. Doesn't seem to care, does it? So essentially what you do is you can try different things out and then scan it to see what happens. No new traits found. Okay, so that didn't do anything. What else have we got? Right, a bit of chaff. You know what? For this count, I don't think I've got chaff bound to it. Although, no, that said, keybinds are not bound per account, are they, there? I mean, what the key 28 is. It's alright saying 28. I've had to reset these keybinds recently quite a bunch of times, so let's see if he reacts to chaff anyway. Doesn't look like it, does it? Some of them do. That really gives you a sense of the size of the little thing, doesn't it? Yeah, no, it kind of looked like I wasn't hitting it. I think that was just an artifact of the lighting, though. Overlord. Today's your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. Born in 1989. Oh, you're a fair bit younger than me then. You're officially an old man. Not quite. Not quite yet. You've got another 10 years before we can call you an old man. But it's nice. You can see the scale of the little thing here. But yeah, we'll try a heatsink as well. It doesn't seem to react to much else. Now what will happen is it will say all traits discovered when we have discovered all the traits here. So it's likely there are some other things we can get it to do. So we've only got one heatsink left, but we're going to try it anyway. I should hear that shoot out in a second. There it goes. Nope, it doesn't care about that. Does it? Nope. Let's try the discovery scanner. We discovered a bunch of things, but the mollusk doesn't seem to care much. Lights, ship lights. Nope. What about bumping it?
Taking damage.
It makes a bit of a whiny noise. It doesn't like that too much, but the pulse wave scanner, Commander Star Striker. Yes, that probably could have done something. I haven't got one, unfortunately. But I'm out of ideas. I think we've tried everything here. Looks like it might be it. Maybe torpedoes. Haven't got any. Or missiles. Oh, poor little guy. Come along experimenting on him. Tom, you don't think I hit it with a laser? Let's try again then. Let's try with a mining laser. So I'm pretty sure that's hitting. It doesn't look like it's hitting, but oh no, you might be right. Yeah. No, it's just passing through it. Look, isn't it? We're gonna have to back off a little bit here. Yeah, I think you guys are right there. It wasn't hitting. It was a bit too close. Makes it difficult to hit though at this distance because what else have we? So let's try the laser again there. Right, he's actually hit him. I don't know if you heard the complaints from him there. Let's see if we get any. Nope, still no new traits discovered. Well, I'm out of ideas there, I think. So, David, I can't target lock it because the gimbals don't seem to work. You watch. If I target lock it, see? Oh no, it is working. It's just my stupidness. But I've hit it again anyway. 3 times now. It doesn't seem to. It complains, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything other than that. So I'm all out of ideas, I think. Maybe all the traits have been discovered. Let's just double check there. No additional traits may exist, but normally it will tell you if all traits have been discovered. Send it an IM. Not a bad idea, Neo Dog. Yep, you're right, Tom. I was too close. That's why. It was pretty obvious, but not thinking clearly. Yes, Darwin. Poor little guy. We've hurt him enough, I think. Scoop it. Scoop it up. Oh, we can't scoop him. We've tried the heat sink. We've tried chaff. We've tried shining our lights at it. We've tried the discovery scanner. Mining laser, pulse laser. So we haven't got much else we could try. Should we try a repair limpet? This is when I wish I had a research limpet or a prospector limpet or something. Oh, I haven't got no limpets. Let's see if we can synthesize one. I don't know if I've got enough materials to synthesize a limpet. There we go. Uses more materials than I'd like, to be honest, but... That's the only limpets I've got, though. Ah, what a waste. No good. Okay. So how do we find these things, Royal Soul? So we use the Codex. If you go into the Codex, Discoveries, galaxies divided up into sectors. You can choose any sector you want. Otherwise, by default, the one you're in is already selected. Look at biological, organic structures, and there they are, or gourd mollusks. Or we could use look at collared pods as well. So you don't need to look for out-game resources to find these. If you click on any of these and then click on the galaxy map, it will take you straight to the location of where you can find them. Buckfield, I didn't stock up on nickel and iron before departing. No. We get some on the way. Try everything again while it's chewing at your shields. I think he's suffered enough, this poor little guy. We'll leave him alone now. Let's put the shields back on before I forget. I think I need to turn one of these things off, didn't I? Or not? Yeah, it can go off. Okay, so that's that. I guess. And these as well. Are they not taking any power, are they? Probably leave them on. Right, yeah, there we go. I think that is where we're going to leave it for today's. Foxy Loxy, thank you for the host. We're just literally heading off though here. Been a good stream as always. Thank you to everyone both on Twitch as well as on YouTube. Appreciate the host there, Foxy Loxy. Sorry that we're heading off. Thanks for the host. Yeah, just crazy timing. But thanks for the host there anyway. So, yeah, great stream. I want to give a quick shout out to a few people, as usual. Thank you to Brian Lucas, Chris Griffin, DJ Werderman. Thank you very, very much for that. Dave Spring, thank you a whole lot. Josh Warren, thank you a lot for that as well. Very, very kind of all of you. And Commander Stargazer, thank you very, very much for that. Very generous and very much appreciated. And Exiler, thank you as well. Extremely grateful to all of you. Been really nice here on the stream today. Pleasure to talk with you as always. And I think over on Twitch what we'll do is we'll go and raid someone. So for those of you that just come along, sorry that we're leaving already. But we're pretty much at the end of my time for today. I've got to head off and do a few things. But we'll have a look at who we can raid today. Have a look here. So I don't know a lot of the people on the stream here. Scrolling down a little bit, I think we might do a surprise raid on some people who don't have a whole lot of viewers right at the moment. We've got a guy here called... Oh no, the old Norse guy isn't English. I suppose it's not. It says no English on his Twitch thing, so might not be an idea to raid him just yet. Who else have we got? Distant Radio. They might appreciate the raid. Yeah, let's go and have a look at Distant Radio. So, thank you everyone. I'll catch you all soon, okay? I'll be back on Sunday with another live stream. Going to be an epic Distant Worlds live stream because we'll be getting Waypoint 3 and heading off on another journey. So it should be pretty interesting. I'll catch you all soon, okay? Take care.